Hey everyone, and welcome to the class this evening. It's Lorna here from the Small Business Diva, and we want to welcome you along tonight. The numbers are starting to pick up. It's just before 7 o'clock, so we'll wait a couple more minutes while more people jump onto the class before we get started. On the left hand side, with a quick housekeeping, you'll see there's a box to type in questions. We'd love for you to connect with us and ask questions during the course of the class. Having these classes really interactive works for us because it gets your questions answered, and it lets us know that you're happy with the content and we're delivering what you're really wanting. Alright, so once again, welcome. The class is looking pretty full. Let's get started. It's dead on 7 o'clock. Welcome to part 2 of how to write killer newsletters, how to connect with your community rather than sell to them. In part 1, we covered off what the 3 key components to successful marketing were, how to apply these to your business, and how to better connect with your community. Tonight, what I want to be looking at is the importance of building and maintaining your list, your database of customers, how to connect to the people on your list, and how to add value to their life, not just to sell to them. In part 3, approximately 3 weeks' time, we're going to delve headfirst into the real technical side of things. We're going to go into the back end of Small Business Diva's MailChimp server, show you how to send out newsletters with absolute ease with simple automated mail servers. We're going to show you how you can track who opens your emails, create simple templates that you can use over and over again. We're going to be looking at connecting you to YouTube as a marketing tool and how to use those in your newsletters. And we're going to show you how to link all of this up in social media at the click of a button. It's all aimed at giving you back some time in your business. So many people we talk to tell us that creating newsletters or sending out information to their community just takes them hours and hours. So we're hoping that these hints and tips, when you put them into play in your business, is really going to help you to be able to do it with ease and to give you back some of your time. Once again, the question box is there. If you have any questions throughout the class, please ask and we'll most certainly be able to answer them for you. So the purpose of your newsletter, it really needs to start to be about engaging with your customers, not just selling to them. Not just a monthly newsletter telling people what they can buy from you. Great newsletters are about adding value to your reader's life. And your great newsletters are going to set you apart as the leader, as the expert and the guru in your field. We want to be looking for you to be the expert in their life in your field. You want to be the person they go to for, say, great fitting underwear or great fitting clothes. You want them to come to you and only you for their skincare and their makeup. You want to be the only person they're going to trust with their health and their well-being and their supplements. You want to become their trusted advisor. You want to become the expert. And as we said in the last class, this information sets you apart from everybody else in your industry. And we know that it's not widely used yet, so start implementing this cutting-edge stuff now and you'll be ahead of the field. We also looked last class at the 3 core elements of doing marketing really well. The 3 C's. They are community, that's your customers, the content, that's the expert advice that you provide, and the character, that's the character that you are to your community. Your community, this is the list that you build from all of your customers, everyone you meet at your spas, demonstrations, shows, events, anyone who shows an interest in staying connected with you. These should include prospects for people who may not be yet convinced they're ready to be in business in your team. They also form part of your community. The content, this is going to be the expert advice that you provide, the hints and the tips on your topic, the value-added stuff that you provide on a regular basis that teaches them, it educates them, and teaches them of what's important to them. It's all about adding value to their world. We also talked last time about the character, and this is where you want to be the same character with your online community that you are in real life with your offline community, the people you're in front of and the people you give demonstrations to. Now this is a little bit of the tricky bit, but when it's done right, it really is amazing what response that you get from understanding who your character is and playing that part. So any questions on anything so far? I know we're just whizzing through it, so the idea is to give a quick overview from anyone who may have overlooked some of the content from last class, just so that we all keep up and we're all on the same page. Now let's look at some points to a great newsletter and a little bit about developing your character. We covered off last time that a great newsletter engages your community so they respond to you. So you've got to be thinking about how do you speak, write how you speak. Have one of your colleagues or maybe a friend look over your content and give you some feedback, and be okay with the feedback that they give you. Because your newsletter is not about you, it needs to be about who's reading it. Move away completely from any technical information that's provided by your product from your company. You want to make it really easy for them to understand what your product's about. Provide heaps of valuable information. You want to be teaching your community what's important to them. You want to be teaching and educating them on your products and on your field of expertise in general as well. You want to always have a really clear call to action. What do you want them to do next now that they've read your newsletter? Respond, reply, ask a question, etc. People, sadly, we all are quite like sheep, and unless you tell them what to do next, most people will do nothing. So give them a really great call to action of what you would like the people who read your newsletter to do next. You want to avoid any features of your product. Or any of the technical aspects, unless it's really relevant to them. If you're in skincare, perfect one is some of the skincare ones I see. They're not interested in the technical long words. They just want to know what your product's going to do for them. Tell them what's in it for them. What are the benefits of your product? What will it do for them? I want the younger looking skin, more organised, look and feel fabulous. You want to be really focused on the benefits of your customer, so put yourself in their shoes before you finish off your newsletter to ask, is this about them or is this about me? So any more questions from this one? Otherwise we're going to keep on moving. Alright, the meaty side of this class. What's all the fuss about? In reality, your list is your greatest commodity in your business. It is a very, very prized piece of real estate, and you should covet it and protect it at all costs. The people who form your list should be looked after really, really well by you. These people are the heart and the soul of your business, and if you do it correctly, they are going to provide the lifeblood to your business by being the ongoing passive income that just rolls in whether you're in front of them or not. I was speaking to a client on Monday regarding her success in her business, and she shared with me that her car each month is paid from the passive income that she generates by her mailing list. Her database, she's never in front of these people, she just sends out a great newsletter with great call to action and great information, and the orders that come in from that newsletter are what supports her business to pay for her car each month. And I think that's pretty cool. Now she does offer them with some incentives and rewards, and she does make sure that it's stuff that she can afford. So if you're reasonably new, have a quick chat to your upline to see how you can do that, how you can offer great incentives. The beauty of this income for her is, and for you when you master this income she doesn't have to chase. They either order through her online account or they are her home shoppers. The passive income is the backbone to her business, because if she does nothing else, she's still going to have her car paid for and reach her minimum targets each month to keep that provided for. And I think that's a really, really cool example of what you can do with your database and how to get people connected with you. So who are these people? Who makes up your list? They're going to be your customers, past and present. When people order from you, you've got to collect their electronic details. First name, last name, and email address has got to be the minimum that you're going to collect from them. Hostesses, past and present, everyone who's ever held a show, a demonstration, invited you into their home, anyone who's on your home shopper list, so whether they place orders directly through your website or they have their own account under your group, anyone who places an order that does not have much interaction from you, they're also on your list. Prospects for your team. Quite often we see people who have met up with someone who maybe isn't interested just yet in joining your team or joining their team, and they leave them be. They don't come back and don't tap into them and don't keep connected with them. The prospects for your business, people who aren't ready to sign up yet, they should also stay on your database and your mailing list so they can get more of a feel for who you are and what you're offering. Every time you do some trade shows, I mean, Night at the Flicks are really, popular right now. Bridal expos, anywhere where you're connecting with other people and spending time talking to other people, expos, trade shows, whatever you call them, every time you go there to those events, you should be focused on collecting The email addresses, names of people who aren't yet connected to you, so that they will connect to you in the future. They may not purchase from any of the nights that they meet you on, but they may be happy to join your database and could lead to a future customer. So you want to make sure when you're in those arenas, those nights, you want to be making sure you've got a way of collecting people's details. Lead generators, wherever this is called for you, some it's a basket, some of it's a raffle, some of it's a giveaway, a free voucher of some description. Whatever the process is for you of getting those leads in, the idea is to, once again, build your database and build your list so you have a way of connecting with these people later on. Just said, baskets, gift baskets, raffles, vouchers, you know what your lead generator is for your business. You know the way that your company has set up that you bring in people into to touch into them so they've got something to follow up with later. They're your lead generators, and they're what you want to be collecting addresses from. Excuse me while I drink. Alrighty, so maybe it's time you make up a bit of a list. Everybody who you can think of. Who are the customers on your list? Who are the people on your list? Who are the people on your database? So you can be really clear who they are, so you can go about and collect some more of them. Your extended list. Don't forget the people who you connect in other ways to. You'll see we've got a couple of diagrams up here of just a couple of different ones that we've come across. Twitter followers, Facebook, Pinterest, Google, YouTube, all of your followers on all of your social media, these are also part of your list and form part of your database. They are the people who you still have permission to contact and therefore market to. So each time you send out your newsletter, you want to be pulling it all together in one place so that technology is going to allow you to share that newsletter on all your social media sites. We'll cover more of this off in class 3, but it's really easy once you link them up. Press the button, off they go, and they've been distributed throughout your whole community. So how do you manage your list? What's the best way for you to look after? Too many people we hear have, on their ordinary mailing address or their ordinary email account, they just tick boxes, or they just have a group in their email account. Our preferred method is through a mail server, and for all of you who receive our mailing list newsletter or any of our contact, you'll see that it comes through a company called MailChimp. Now there's a whole bunch of them out there that are also free. Aweber or Office Autopilot, SendPepper, Constant Contact. There's a whole bunch of them. Some you pay for, some you don't. Some are dependent on how much you use what you pay for. So there's a whole lot of them out there, and they really are our preferred way to manage your list. Now, MailChimp at the outset is free. It is our preferred one. Next class we'll go into, we'll show you the back end of ours. They said there are a lot more that there are around. So if you think you're not quite up to the technology of it yet, don't worry, please come along to class 3. Either way, we will get you up to speed so you'll be able to move forward. If the technical side isn't something you want to play with just yet, you've got to at least have something like an Excel spreadsheet. You'll see down the bottom of the screen that you're looking at now, there's an Excel spreadsheet, and it's simple as first name, last name, and email address. The 3 columns are really easy to use. You will just then, each month when you send out your newsletter, everybody whose email address is there, you'll simply copy that table, that whole list down. You put it into your to box in your email when you're sending your newsletter, and you'll go paste. All of those addresses will then paste into that box, and you'll be able to send out your email newsletter really quickly, and you've also then captured everyone who's on your list without you having to manually tick the boxes each time. Now legally in this country, and particularly in America and the UK as well, you must have an opt-in option for all of your emails. So if you're not using a server, which is one of your MailChimps, you really need to make sure that down the bottom of every one of your email addresses there is an option for people to click on to unsubscribe from your content. If you use one of the mail servers, it manages it automatically for you. But if you're going to use an email account on your own email system, or whether you're going to use an Excel spreadsheet, if people opt out of your list or opt to no longer belong to your community, you must by law stop sending them things. So consider how you're going to manage that so you don't get yourself in any sort of spam trouble, is by how you're going to keep your list together in one place. You cannot add email addresses to your database of people who have not given permission to do so. The person must have given you permission, otherwise it's spam. It is punishable by offence to the government. The easy way to do it is, if someone hasn't provided you the details, don't use the email address, just keep yourself out of trouble. So we've got any questions on that? I know that's a lot of content for that one. We'll go into a lot more detail in class 3, but this is just a really quick overview of the ways to manage your list and your database really easily, so that you're not spending heaps and heaps of time doing your newsletter. So what should you do with your list? This is a question that comes up so often. How often is too often? How often is too little? This really is going to depend on what you sell, what price the items sell for, how quickly, how frequently your product changes. Do you have a specials catalogue each month or a brochure? Do you get new products released each month? Personally, I contact my community daily on Facebook. Now and then, especially on weekends when I'm out at the farm, I don't get an opportunity to do so. But we certainly keep regular, consistent contact with all of you. Sometimes it's my weekly blog, or it's on Facebook and Twitter. If you're new to our community, you could still be on the marketing tips that get sent out. So the key here is consistency. Pick what you're going to do, pick what the frequency is for you and for your business, and stick to it, because people will expect to hear from you. So if you're going to do it fortnightly, stick to fortnightly. Weekly, weekly. I have a girlfriend in business who sends them out daily. I personally feel that's probably a bit too much. So look at you and see how often you believe that they should come out, depending on what your product says. So how should you contact them? The contact should be in the form your customers respond to. Email is really great, and let's hope you're linking your Facebook, your Twitter, and all your other social media into your email. I'm a big fan of personal Facebook and business Facebook being separate. Rarely will you see any of my personal stuff on our business page, and part of the strategy for that is often people you connect with in real life, they can be real jerks or real melodramatics and having yet another life crisis. I don't want that in the Facebook space that we all share for our business. I want that to be totally separate and leave their drama and the dilemma elsewhere. So that's my personal view. So you connecting on your Facebook, if you do that daily, and connecting with your email newsletters, they're a different strategy, and you can have that timing quite differently. So what are you going to add? You're going to add, what does your contact look like? You want to be adding value, value, value. Plain English, no jargon, easily readable font, not rows and rows and rows of text that people have to trawl through, because people just are not going to read a big long email from you. They've got to be sharp and short, to the point. Use some pictures where you can. The eyes love dot points. Dot points are really easy for the human brain to read, and they love 3. So think in terms of 3 dot points. Anyone who has worked one-on-one with us, you're going to recognize that we are really keen on YouTube and Vimeo as an option as well. YouTube you with your products, video you with your products. Whip out your little iPhone, really easy to do, and be part of the few people who are doing that. Imagine adding a really cool video to your newsletter and sending it out to your customers. How much different is that, a 2 or 3 minute video, rather than them having to read text? Give it a thought, it's a lot of fun. So how do you add some value, I hear you saying? Your value is the hints and tips on your industry, not just on what you know, but your whole total industry. They may be the latest in skincare that's in the market, the best colours for this season. It could be skincare, it may be the latest product that's been used in products that your company's using. How to carry your bag to make you look 10 kilos lighter. How to wear a scarf. How to relax in 3 easy steps. How to make your home cozier. Whatever it is in your industry, ask yourself, what else would your people like to know? And so now I'm a huge fan of videos. I know your organisation may have product videos, but what I'd really love to see is creating your own videos. As I said, pick up your Android phone, your iPhone, whatever, you upload it, you record it, you upload it, and you distribute it. Really quick way to build your character as well, because people get to see you and get to know who you are. You don't have to write all the articles for your value. You control the internet and find valuable articles on products that relate to you. Hint here, never use your competitors' products. However, products in the market or products that are offering value of how you may educate your community. That's what you want to be looking at. What about some photos of you with some of your clients? Maybe before or after shots of makeup, or maybe you did some home dressing if you're into one of the linen or home care companies. Styling clothes, what it looked like before, what it looked like after. This is the place for you to bring into their world, and let some social proof do that by having other people involved, i.e. the photos from all the other people that you've spent time with. Really cool way to add something different into your newsletter, everyone. The last thing is to ask questions. Ask questions in your newsletter that gets your people to respond to you. You'll see every now and again we'll send something out. What was it a few weeks back? If you had a magic wand, what would you change in your world? Those sorts of emails that are very short, very sharp, and ask for contact, and they ask for a response. If you start doing more of those, your people will start to look at you differently. You need to mix your emails with professional emails, i.e. business, and a bit of personal stuff. Not about you, but in terms of being able to connect with them with a more impersonal or personal type of email that goes out to them. Not just always your monthly newsletter from your company that looks very formal, very official. Ask them for their feedback. Ask what they love. Encourage them to engage with you. Is there any more questions, anyone, on this topic? So we played around on the in the first class with some of these headline banks. In 2010, there were 294 billion emails sent out in the world. So getting it right is really important, because you want to cut through the clutter in their inbox and make sure that their emails are open, or your emails are open. Just think of how many emails you get in your inbox each day. How many do you open? You want to really cut through and have things that are really different. Now, I did some research for you, and I found a bunch of headlines to get you started. Now, I know when you read them, they might not all be relevant to you exactly. The lines of questioning, however, apply to every industry. So let's try out the top one. How a new discovery made a plain girl beautiful. That would be for skincare. What about how a new discovery transformed a bedroom into a boudoir, if you were linen parties? How a new discovery took 20 kilos off a woman without any dieting. Undergarments. 20 kilos may be excessive, but hey, you're playing around with it. How a new discovery changed the mood of our entire home, if you're in the candles or some sort of homewares. You see how you can just take one simple statement, play around with the words, and make it really fit to your industry? What about one down the bottom we played with? Can you spot these 7 common decorating sins? Can you spot these 7 common skincare sins? Can you spot these 7 mood-killing sins? Can you spot these 7 common fashion faux pas? Play with the words, brainstorm them together in your teams, and have some fun with them. Because as I say, they can be a lot of fun, and people will start to open your emails because they're different. They'll want to know what it is. And I'm sure you've got to agree, far sexier than February's newsletter. Just some thoughts, guys. Any feedback? You'll see down the bottom also, we got this from Googling Headline Bank. I think it was like 150 fabulous headlines or something like that. So just Google Headline Bank if you want to play around with some great headlines. So what do you want to include in your newsletter? You want to have a killer headline. Now, we've just done headlines on the previous page. Valuable content. It's not just your products. It's got to be your industry as a whole. Everything from the latest colours, the latest fabrics, the latest methods, something that's been tried and tested, what's winning awards, especially if that's your product. Where have they been featured in the media? Social proof is huge, guys. You've got to be using if your company has been in the media. Look at what's the coolest, what's the newest. Anything you find that's in line with your market and your products. Research that shows your product has the best ingredients, anything like that. Obviously, don't use anything to do with your competitors. I know that's obvious, but just in case anyone gets it wrong, and take other people's information. If you do that and you find other information that other people have written, please be respectful and actually give them credit. Write in your newsletter a little bit of, got it from XYZ website or whatever. But be very respectful of that someone else has written the content perhaps, of where you get it from. Now, what are your offers in your newsletter? I'm really not a fan of discounting your prices. Now, I know some of you offer some huge discounts when you're striving for target, but what I want you to do is get really clear with your market that this is a one-time offer, a birthday special, or something that lets them know this isn't everyday discounting your product. The reason I don't support the discounts is that it devalues your product and everyone sees it as a bargain and only wants it when it is a bargain. You want people to see the value in your product at all times, so be mindful of the discounts on top of what's already in your specials catalogue. There are other ways you can do it by offering value, offering maybe some additional products, little freebies, a voucher, whatever. Think of doing those before you start discounting your product. Video content. Yes, I know we love video. It's fun and it's a fast track way to get you over your shyness. It gets you sounding confident and it gets you to enjoy having fun in front of strangers. How often do you want to read something other than watch a couple of minute video? People learn in 3 representational systems. They have an auditory, which is hearing, visual, seeing, and kinesthetic is feeling. So if you give them a video of you, the video is going to let them listen, they're going to allow to watch, and your language and how you feel and your expressiveness is going to come through kinesthetic, so they're going to get to feel who you are. All bases ticked in terms of marketing and speaking the right language to everybody. Just think about videos and give them a go. They're a lot of fun. Now, we've got any more questions on this one? No questions at all? Oh, fantastic, great. I'll answer some of these questions that are coming through. Excellent. Alright, that brings us to the end of the class, and I just want to say thank you everyone once again for all the questions. They were really cool. Thanks so much for that. Now, usually we offer these special sessions at the end of all of our calls. However, the response at the beginning of the month was so amazing, we actually only had 2 spots left. If you want one of these complimentary 45-minute Get Your Time Back strategy sessions, you've got to be quick. There's only one place left in our mentoring one-on-one program that starts in March, and that's been snapped up today from the live class we did on Monday. So if you really want to kick your business off this year, we only have 1 spot left in the program. However, we do have 2 spots left in the Get Your Time Back strategy. So if you want one of these, flick me an email straight away, send me a text, whatever, get in touch with me and book yourself in for one of these. Once again, we want to thank you so much for being part of our class. If you have any more questions, you can contact me on the email here, or you can give me a call. Love to have you connect with us on Facebook. Love for you to join our community through our website. And we thank you for joining us, and we will see you on Class 3. Thanks, everyone.